Well, it is weighted to win. Looking ahead to midweek racing, we're on the Polytrack of Hollywood Bets Greyville, where we have an 8-race program. We're starting with that first of 8 at 12:25. A good day's racing, I believe, in the Western Cape. Yesterday afternoon, all went uninterrupted. Let's hope that it's likewise in KZN, and there should be no reason why not. Right, the first race is a Tab Gold, a score 10, a score 8, a maiden plate. It's over the 1,000 meters, and we have a very short price to favorite, and rightly so. It's it is the first time on the Polytrack, but that should not be a deterrent. It has met up with some useful sorts. A horse that beat it last time out had made given notice as of the first go that Imar was not going to be a maiden too long. That is a Paul Matchard runner, Paul Lafferty runner rather. Right, let's talk about Apex Predator, and it is Mr. Gary John on the other side of the line. Gary John, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good, thanks. And you, Cecil?
Not too bad. Are you as bullish as the bookmakers make this favorite number 3, Apex Predator?
Cecil, it definitely looks the right horse on the form in this race. I don't see much in this race. I just don't back 3 and 4 to 10 shots. It's not my style of play. I like looking for a lot more value. Just speaking on it, I think it definitely it does have the form to win a race like that. Just going back to the run to Gorgeous Guy. I mean, Terenyaku was in there, came to win a winner's race the other day. Palmera was in there. So, I mean, there were some nice sorts in there. And with the improvement, I do believe it's the right horse with the draw, the distance. There doesn't look to be a question mark besides the Polytrack for the first time, which should not be a problem. I do see Bomber Stream has finished in front of it to the run to Heavens well. But then obviously Apex Predator did reverse the form line, and Mo King does have Bomber Stream held. So I think number 3 will definitely get us through the bar pot, yeah.
All right, so it is a banker 3 by banker the 9, and that's where the bankers end. And leg to number 9, a Sovereign Command, whom we are going to discuss in more detail. All right, so we get on to the second exotic of the afternoon at Hollywood Bets. Greyville race number 2 will see the start of the place accumulator, and we have a 17-10 favorite in race number 2, and that is the 9 Sovereign Command having a 4th outing. And the good thing is that the horse has been on the poly, and that was in its second outing. Second favorite is number 3 Isquishiquishi, that is at 33-10, and then you got Kinnick. Been nibbled into 33-10. That is the 5, the 2. Amor Fati is at 11-2. It's 12s and better bar those. All right, so let's talk about Sovereign Command. Let's go straight for the jugular here. We do know that you like the horse. We saw that in your bipod. Tell us more.
Yes, Cecil. I made this my best bet for the day, Sovereign Command. I believe this form line is better as of this caliber. Also, just stating that when it did run on the poly, it ran behind United Nation. Brigard came out to win, and a horse that it beat by 2 lengths was Notable in there. And Notable came out to beat Bellas Pablo, which we saw won very well on Sunday. So I really like this horse a lot here. Just speaking on Isquishiquishi, I'm not 100% convinced on this form line. I do know Deception Pass did come out to frank the form line again in Joburg, but a lot of the horses, Deputy Chief, Run Unsighted, I Surrender came out there to Run Unsighted. And also talking on its first run, it wasn't the strongest of fields there. The form line hasn't been franked. I see the clear dangers, number 2 and 5. Connect. With the run behind Mark's Mazarin was a good run. Burning Man come out to win, and Mark's Mazarin come out to win again. But if you go on form, Amor Fati does have it held. So I make 2 and 5 the dangers over there, but I'm very strong with number 9 here to get us through.
All right, so it is the banker 9 in the first leg of the PA, and you round off with another bank. It looks like it could be a day for those on the nose, the punters. The 5 is your banker in a race number 8, and that would be Wave Warrior. That's an outlay of 24 Rand, very inexpensive indeed. Well, we're still in the midst of the international break, and I see former Tottenham player got his 100th cap for England yesterday and scored 2 goals to boot. That is Harry Kane. Wonder what sort of a prize you'd have got for that. But there are lots of internationals still to come through in the next 48 hours. And get onto that Betway platform. And you can indeed take a very, very good bet indeed. And of course, remember, you do have that inline and in-play betting that you can get involved in. Now, in race number 3, we've got a scratch in the 5 perfectly picked. Would certainly have been one of the principles in the betting is scratched in race number 3. So what does that do to the betting? The 7 walkie-talkie is the favorite at 23 to 10. Number 3 Silver Jubilee is at 4 to 1. And then the 10 Dynasties, the last is the Into on 9 to 2 from 6 to 1. 11 to 2 by the 6 Regina Marie. And also 11 to 2, number 8, Sacred Lily. It's a 13 to 2 and a better bar those. So that leaves us with the 9 runners into that first leg of the Pick 6, Mr. Gary John. Walkie Talkie, Carl Hewitson and Atandu Mgodlo team up. Last run on the turf at Greyville was a second, a length .202 Intuitive Spirit.
Cecil, yes, I saw that run. It wasn't a bad run at all. It's just a bit of an inconsistent horse. I know it has shown improvement. Just going back to its poly run, both poly runs, they were all right runs. I'm not 100% convinced on this form line here. I'm looking for some improvement from Silver and Arjuna. Just speaking on Regina Morris, it's my first choice here. I really like how this horse has improved over the ground. And just speaking on its last run to Safari Lodge, it was only about a length behind Jet Lavish that day, because Jet Lavish was in that field behind Safari Lodge, and Jet Lavish came out to win by, I think, 5 lengths on the poly that day. So I'm expecting improvement from this horse, Regina Morris. I think it's good enough to beat a field like this. Like I said, I'm not too sure what to expect from Silver Jubilee on the poly. I do know horses have it held. And then Arjuna stepping up in the distance. Its run to Lucrative wasn't a bad run. All the specialists, and its first run, Cape Capri. So I really like Regina Morris here to win this race.
Okay, so that would be in the first leg of the Pick 6. And I dare say in the Pick 6 itself, if you were to suggest one, you'd say go the field here or go quite a few.
I would say go the field.
All right, thank you very much. Scratched as a 5 perfectly picked, and that Pick 6 pool closes at 20 to 2. Well, it is that date, what is it, 23, 24 years ago already. That is very, very sad day, 9/11. But of course, it is a few days before we get in to the launch of our own PSL League, which will now be called the Betway PSL League. Betway have pumped in lots of money, and that can only be a positive. And the squad under Mr. Bros seems to be the beneficiary long term from a good, powerful league. Right, let's have a look at the betting for race number 4. This is the first leg of the first jackpot at Greyville Convention Centre. Fillies and Mares 68. It's over the 1900 meters. And here we have no scratchings, a field of 8. And all the supporters coming in for the 7. And that is a doctor's orders at 17 to 10. 5 to 2, the 3 Canford Queen. 2 English Primrose is at 28 to 10. 13 to 2 and better, bar those quoted runners. You've got a few runners here. 17 to 10, and they seem to be pouring in the money on Mark Dixon's charge to be partnered by Kelvin Abib. Tell us your first choice and why you've chosen, perhaps you would cover your first choice.
Cecil, I found this race very hard to dissect. I do see it between the first 3 favourites over here. I did go field in my jackpot just in case. But just speaking on numbers 2, 3 and 7, numbers 2 and 3 are actually in the weights here on number 7. But at the same time, I did watch the replay of number 7 Doctor's Orders, and I was impressed with it, I must admit. It's up against pretty much the same bunch. But like I said, between English Primrose, Canford Queen, Doctor's Orders, I can't see much in it. But like I said, the 2 and the 3 are in the weights. And for a length and a half a length beating, I wouldn't be surprised to see any one of the 3 win here.
I think it's a good idea indeed. I'm just looking at the last meeting between Canford Queen and the favourite number 7 Doctor's Orders, and that would actually paint a different picture. So that is the start of the jackpot. Jackpot 1 at 2:15. Right, so we get to the second half, or we start the second half of an eight-racer program, and also the commencement of Jackpot 2. This will be with the running of a Soccer 13 fillies and mares at 70 handicap, and it's over the 1,200 meters. Now, as far as the betting for race number 5 is concerned, the 2 Sweet Julia, and please take note that the intended cheek pieces are off 2 to 1. Number 3, Blush of Dawn is at 28 to 10. Number 5, Mama's Baby is at 4 to 1, 9 to 2. Here's the 1, Lady Bug. The 7, Calling All Angels, 8 to 1, 8 to 1. The 8, An Air of Pride. And then the least fancied is the 4, Kittens Adventure. The field has been reduced by the 1 to 7 by the scratching of a recent run on Sunday, finished 4th on Sunday, but insufficient recovery time, and that's number 6, Rafif's Choice. All right, Gary John, race number 5, Rafif's Choice, you did like. Unfortunately, Lucrative seemed to win the way it won the first time out, as if dropped in the race. And Craig seems to get a good tune out of Lucrative. But let's talk about race number 5. And your favorite here is number 2, Sweet Julia, at 2 to 1.
Yes, Cecil. I've played to beat the favourite over here, Sweet Julia. I know it ran behind Drive By last time, but if you go back to Blush of Dawn's win to Perfect Trust, Drive By was in there. I do know it was the 1,400 meters. And speaking on Calling All Angels, the form line's very strong. A lot of winners out of that form line. 4 horses have come out to win from that. So I do have respect for Calling All Angels. And I've actually, this horse Ladybug, I've left it out. Please, guys, add in Ladybug into your bar pot, PA, and jackpot. I give it a big chance in this field. And then also Kitten's Adventure coming off a rest. If this horse was to come back to its best, I do believe it's priced up wrong. I definitely can see it popping up.
All right, so then Air of Pride is also in the colors of the Trabias. We were talking about Lucrative, but not to be part of your play. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are the horses of choice for that first leg of Jackpot 2. Ronald Weir Smith Memorial Middle Stakes is race number 6. Is over the 1,100 meters. The last chance to get involved in a pick 3. We have a field of 9 to face up in what should be a very competitive 1,100 meter sprint. But the favorite is at the 8, Savantrix, and that is Dean Cameron and Craig Zaki once again. A weak favorite at 4 to 1, 9 to 2 about the 2 Ultra Quick. Number 4, Warrior of Royalty. That is one of the backed horses, 5 to 1 into 9 to 2. The 5, Love in Winter, 9 to 2, 5 to 1 about the 1 too many, 7s and better about those. So it's a field of 9, and they'll be going like the clappers here. Which way are you leaning towards, Mr. Citron? Mr. Citron?
Cecil, I've made my value bet for the day, Mr. Henley. I really like its run on its last run on the Poly to Proud Master, and Proud Master came out to win. I know there were some nice horses in that field that day. Just talking on Magic Tattoo that's done nothing wrong. Also, Parmenion come out to win, and it was also draw 10 that day. Also, speaking on Warrior of Royalty, it's coming off a gelding. That run on the Poly Chocolate Soldier was an absolutely great run. Also was drawn badly that day. And I also remember at the July Gallops, I'm pretty sure Warrior of Royalty was working with Royal Victory that day. So I've gone 4 and 6 here in my jackpots. I think it should get you through. I'm only scared of one thing, that they are going to go hard, and I really hope they don't cut each other's throats up front. And then also speaking on Savantrix, I have played to beat it. I feel like the other two's form is better, but that one run to October Morn does stick out to me. But I've gone with 4 and 6 here.
4 and 6 for Gary John and Mr. Henley being the value bet, and very easy to back at 15 to 2. And there seems to be a bit of interest in the antipodes for the 6th, Mr. Henley. All right, so it is last double time when we get to race number 7. And don't forget, you can take a double on the Betway platform, and you should get some very good odds indeed. And there is a bit of value to be had if you look beyond the top 2 in the betting to race number 7. But let's have a look at the betting. It's the 4, Miss Platina, a good winner last time out, who has been supported in from 5 to 2 into 19 to 10. And then you've got the unbeaten on Polytrack, number 6, the Grande Ricci. That is a 3 to 1. 4 to 1, the one Petit Verdot. Number 7, Wonderful, is at 4 to 1. Number 5, Safe and Sound, is at 11 to 2. 8 to 1 is the 8, Ice Sensation. 19s are the 2 outsiders, number 2, Mauritania. And the 3, Jollification. Now, your wish has been granted, Mr. Citron. Ever since we started working together, you've all spoken about the exploits of a Grande Ricci on the poly. Well, back on that surface where it's unbeaten. But I think has something to find with the 4, Mr. Platina, who certainly won against a very strong field, albeit on turf.
Yes, Cecil. I had to lean towards Grande Ricci. I nearly made this my best bet for the day. Obviously, the way it's won on the poly all 3 times has been super impressive in my eyes. I'm just hoping the weight doesn't get to it. Also, just speaking on Miss Platina, it got beaten by Imperious Destiny on the poly before, where Grande Ricci beat Imperious Destiny quite comfortably. So on that, I had to lean towards Grande Ricci. I really like it. Yeah, I think at 7 to 2, it's worth a bet. And also, yeah, I'm thinking of taking a nice Trixie Sovereign Command to win, Mr. Henley to win into Grande Ricci. Hopefully 2 out of 3 come in and we can still get a payout, if not 3 out of 3. But I've banked at Grande Ricci and everything.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gary John. And of course, it is competitive. You've got the likes of the 7, Wonderful, who's tumbling down that rating as well, but very keen on the chances of Grande Ricci. That is Gareth Van Sale and Marco van Rensburg. All right, so we'll be rounding off our midweek stay at Hollywood Bets at Greyville with the running of race number 8. We've been on the poly, and this is a merit rate at 67, which will be over the mile. And here you can put a line through number 1, a Duke of Africa, leaving a field of 7. The 5, a Wave Warrior, that is at 5 to 2, has been supported in from 3 to 1 to 5 to 2. Number 3, Don't Judge, is at 33 to 10, as is the 7, King Bavarian. 5 to 1, the 4, Future of Enedy. The 8, Fine Admiral, is at 11 to 2. Also Nibble at the 2, Forest Jump. 17 to 2 is now into 13 to 2. And I see there has been a bit of headgear change. Blinkers are off and the cheek pieces go on at the Daryl Moore, number 2, Forest Jump. All right, after all that, 22 to 10, Wave Warrior. Tell us more about your selections in race number 8, Mr. Gary John.
Cecil, I had to lean towards Wave Warrior as my PA banker. I made it between 5, 7, and 8 here. I did give the 8 a good chance. I'm just scared the distance is too short for it. And obviously, King Bavarian does have Wave Warrior held, so I have respect of it. But once again, the distance dropped to the 1600. I feel Wave Warrior will be course and distance suited. And just speaking also on the pace in the race, I feel Wave Warrior will have everything its own way. And with Rachel aboard, I think she might be licking her lips at the 200. And hopefully she can hold on for us.
Okay, so that is a Wave Warrior, quite a positive selection there. So would you not add that into your all to come bet that you have already suggested?